If you wound a leopard, that's probably one of the most dangerous situations you can be in when you go after it. The cat hunting is difficult. Seeing a leopard in the wild is about the most amazing thing. They can walk by you within feet and you don't hear them. They have spots and they kind of stand out when they're out in the open, but it's very camouflage in a lot of areas. I mean, for me, it's sort of like the pinnacle of some of the hunting in Africa. You know, baiting a cat, getting it to come in, watching a leopard move. They're just incredible, like their agility and their balance, and it's hard to describe, I don't know. But there's something special about seeing a leopard, to me, over just about all of the other animals in Africa. Because they're so elusive, you never see them. You might be in a place where there's lots of leopards, and you know, you could be there for years and never see a leopard.
Yeah, and this is the welcoming committee.
Yeah, it's cool.
Lamik, this is Mr. Kevin Brick.
I've never been to Zambia, but Zambia is wild Africa. Like, it's not like South Africa. And we wanted to hunt some dangerous game and some plains game. Took Mitch and Nick, they'd never been to wild Africa. You are very remote, and there's not a lot of help. You could be 10 or 12 or 15 hours from a town. But it's real wild Africa where you go to see elephants in the wild. Lion, leopard, crocs, hippos, everything is there. This was a conservation that had been hunted in several years, so the cats weren't very educated on baiting and, you know, being hunted. And so we took the opportunity to go after a leopard and a lion. And it still took about a week and a half. The initial target were the buffalo. You know, this was an area that hadn't been hunted in a few years, so we knew we were going to have a lot of mature animals. We knew there were going to be a lot of animals, or we suspected. We didn't know how much poaching had gone on in the 3 years that this concession had not been hunted. But, you know, that was the hope. You know, this is a place where they have all the dangerous game. And an opportunity for, you know, Mitch and Nick to see it, to get to experience it and hunt it. You have maybe close to 1 million acres that you're hunting, and you've not had the opportunity to spend time there to see where the animals generally are, or you know, where they're feeding, where they're going for water, what's there, how mature it is. Because, you know, of course, whether it's a buffalo or a leopard, you want to shoot the oldest male you can. So there's just a lot of unknown when you go into the wild. Yeah, so for a cat hunt in wild Africa, you do a few things. You look for signs. Oftentimes, if you've got a good sandy area, you'll look for tracks in the roads. So that's the easiest way. You know, you put a tracker up front on the tracker's seat in the front of the cruiser. You cruise at a slow enough speed where he's watching the ground. If you start seeing tracks in the road, that's a starting point. And so from there, like with a leopard, for example, if you want to bait a leopard, you'll find a spot where maybe it's on a dry riverbed, or there's certain areas where they will naturally be. A lion is very brazen. Prides of lions will be out in the open, you'll see them. But with a leopard, they're not that way. You know, they're very shy, they're very isolated, and so they'll generally hunt and walk, and then you'll find a place close by where maybe it's a dry riverbed and a point where, you know, they might typically travel. And then you'll take that opportunity to set up a bait there.
A male lion can't climb trees. They're too big. So the bait's lower for those, and they grab it from the ground. So you hang a leopard bait up in a tree like it. When a leopard has a kill, like an impala, it'll climb a tree and leave it up there. So like the hyenas and the lions can't get it. So you hang a leopard bait high like this. And then you hang it down, so they have to reach down and really work to get the food. So they have to come back for it, and they can't just eat it all in one sitting. And you put this straw on it to keep the vultures and stuff off of it. And it also will tell you you don't have to come up to the bait. You can look from 100 yards and see if a cat got on the bait. It'll knock the straw off, and you can see it.
A leopard is a solitary animal and it's smaller. They're usually 1 to 200 pounds at max. So they don't eat as much, so you can shoot plains game. You can shoot kudu or bushbuck or warthog or even baboon. The leopard loves baboon. You can shoot those and hang them. And so if you're hunting plains game trophies anyway, you do that and then you use the meat to hang. With an older male, the trick is they generally become nocturnal. But you have to get them to where they'll feed during the day. You have it come in maybe before daylight, but it'll get comfortable and stay after daylight. So we didn't want camera footage of it at night where you're using night vision to film it because it's not that clear. You know, for us, for marketing purposes, and for me to hunt, like I want to shoot them during the day. It's not easy in most areas because those old males want to be nocturnal. You watch the bait constantly every day, and you generally do that with cameras. So you go check the cameras every day and you look for tracks and you look for signs of them in the tree. Then you use the camera to see. Sometimes you can tell it's a female, it's a small leopard based on some of the tracks at the base of the tree or whatever, or how much it ate. But you use the camera to show you definitely that's a mature male. He's in his last couple of years. That's a cat you should take. Within probably 5 miles of camp, we had 4 cats on camera. High or so. Yeah, so we could see them come down to that little knot and then pause and then go down.
And then you don't know where he goes from there.
We never saw him. We only saw her. And she walked directly to us.
You'd be just over there. When you said, you know that point from when you saw next to when you shot.
Look at the difference there.
Yeah, that's what we saw.
Look there. Take that picture.
It's exactly what we saw. Because she's in the half, she's folding like this over the branch. And then look there. Yeah, you clearly see the size difference between 18 and 11 last night.
Yeah,
so it's just at
too late.
It's going to be too late for
10 minutes too late for them.
But it was
Go back, man. Yeah, it's when he came in last night. It's 10 minutes.
So
too
they
late.
came and checked it 11 past 6, and then at 9. But there also you can see it somewhere.
He was bigger than I thought he was.
What time?
What time?
What would be nice to see is that frontal picture of the big cat. All right.
So first is 8:34 was the first picture.
You can't even zoom in. It would be nice if you could zoom in and you could have a look for identifying marks.
A couple were young, one was in his prime, so that's not one you want to take because you know he's breeding, he's helping to continue to populate the area, but we got one old male. You all have to kind of agree on the age because you want to shoot something that's really in the last 2 or 3 years of its life.
If you want to build a population, if you want it to grow, you want to conserve it, you want to sustainably utilize that population to expand it, break it down to gender and age class. There's only 2 genders in the animal kingdom, male and female. If you were to conserve a population and grow it, which gender do you select to use? Never the females, because that's your reproductive engine. So now we're left with males, okay? So now let's break the males down into 3 classes. The very young. Would you go after the very young from a hunting perspective to save the population? No. Would you go after the young, strong breeding males that are contributing to the population, that are generating the young through the females? No. Who do you go after? You go after somebody like me, an old curmudgeonly male in the population who's done his job, who's about to die. And you take him. It has negligible effect on the population. So killing him has no effect on the overall population. In fact, the money that comes from him perpetuates everybody else, conserves everybody else, moves the ball down the field for everyone else. That's how it works. That's how you select one and save 100. That one is potentially affecting the other population as well. So there's multiple benefits to that old male being taken out of the population.
Once through the pictures and the video, we recognize the cat we want to target. Okay, so you go there, you make sure you keep bait in the tree. You make sure you don't go during times he might be there, but you go during the day and you pick, what's the prevailing wind. We need to set up a blind to shoot him from, so we're not going to use that prevailing wind. We'll use that to offset it so that the cat can't smell us. If he's predominantly coming in the morning and not in the afternoon, you come before daylight, get set up. We get the camera guy, we get the professional hunters, we get me, I get set up. I'm in a chair, we set up a tripod, the gun on it, as steady as we can be, where we have a clear shot. And that's usually 40 to 70 yards, if the terrain and environment allows. I was using the Megafix in 375 Ruger, 12-inch barrel, which was really nice in this scenario with a short barrel and a silencer. Number one, we're not blowing everyone out of the blind, when the gun goes off, because we have a muzzle brake. And it's a short barrel, so it's easy to maneuver within the blind. You set up a tripod, I attach the gun to, I get it set up right where the cat's gonna feed in the tree. So we probably had 4 attempts on this cat. The first day, I believe we get there, we get set up way before daylight, we hear him come in the tree. We think it's him. It gets daylight, it's a female. We go the next day. It's a female again. And it's in a dried riverbed, which there's a canopy. So you can see with your eyes okay. Rad can see with his binos. I can see with the scope, but the camera can't pick it up yet. And what we want is footage, so we don't do it. And Rad identifies that it's a female. All right, she comes out of the tree. To our astonishment, because they're generally solitary unless they're breeding, the male goes up the tree. So he's got a female with him. And he goes up the tree and he's eating, and Rad's like, can you see him? And I'm like, I can see him through the scope. Can the camera pick it up? No. So it was light enough where I could shoot it. I could see with the gun with the optic that it's a male, and I can see to shoot it, but it's not enough light yet for the camera. So we have to watch it walk out of the tree and go away. Rad is hysterical. He was not impressed. Next day, same thing kind of happens, but it's a little later, and Rad is even more irritated. The camera can't quite pick it up. It can't, the footage is grainy. This is why I love hunting with Rad. Rad loves hunting, and that's why he's a PH. He chose a lifestyle, and getting a leopard on bait with this quality is not easy, and it's never guaranteed. It's difficult. We put in a ton of work. Rad can see it with his binos. Rad can see it with his eyes. I can see it with my eyes. I can identify it as a male. Camera can't pick it up. So Rad's convinced that our camera guy is an idiot and something's in front of the camera. He's not using it correctly, but Rad's out of his area of expertise. Rad is such a true hunter, and he's so passionate about it. This is an opportunity, that doesn't come that often, and we have to watch that leopard walk out of the tree again. This is a difficult hunt that's never guaranteed, and often you come up empty-handed hunting a leopard. But for me, this isn't just a hunt for KB. This is marketing and video for Q, our company. We want to get the best quality leopard footage that's ever existed. So whether it's 4K, 8K, whatever it is, if that sensor can't pick it up in the quality that we want, doesn't matter. We don't shoot. So we watched the leopard climb out of the tree and fuck off. The next day, though, we have Mitch and Nick and Seppi, their PH, because they're kind of done hunting. This is kind of the last day. The boys drive a mile away after they drop us off, and they just park and wait. And this is way before daylight. We're in the blind again for the 4th time. We hear a cat come in the tree. It's still dark. Sometimes you can hear him climb the tree. Often you can't. But you hear him start chewing on the bait, which a leopard chewing on buffalo ribs or a warthog, they break bones when they bite. So you hear that, like crunch, crunch, crunch. And you can hear it. And so we hear it. We can't see anything. The light starts to come very slowly, very easily. And, you know, you get to see some contrast and you can see movement. Then you can see that's a cat. And then you're hearing it and you're watching it. And then it gets lighter and you can see, oh, that's a leopard. You can see the spots, you can see the tail. You can't tell if it's a male or a female. A little more light, it's the male. That's him. Rat. You see him? Yeah, I see him. Can you shoot? No, I don't have it. I can't see it in the scope. Okay. 5 minutes later, you can see it in the scope. I can see him in the scope. Can you shoot him? I can shoot him. Camera guy. Nope. Okay. So we go through about 30 minutes of this to where I can see him through. I have my reticle on him. I have my dot on him. It's a great leopard. You know, he's old. He's sagging. He's got a belly. He's the one. And you're just waiting for the camera, and the sunlight becomes more and more. And you get more nervous because we watched him walk out of the tree 3 times now. And Rad is getting hysterical. It's getting more and more light. You can see him with your eyes. It's a leopard we need to shoot. Camera guy, nope, can't see it. Rad is losing his mind. Rad stands up in the blind. He's getting loud with the camera guy. There's something in front of the lens. You're not focused correctly. What are you doing? Da, 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 da. Comes the thing, and I tell Rad, shut up. Rad ignores me. He continues. Rad, shut the fuck up. Sit down. This is my hunt. You shut the fuck up. Rad's livid. Rad and I are about to get in a fist fight. The other in the blind, the other PH, he's like, you two knock it off. He's gonna fucking hear you. Rad calms down, I calm down, we sit down. Leopard, we watch it in, to your eyes, bright daylight, walk out of the tree. Like every morning, when it becomes sunlight, he leaves. Rad is livid. I'm livid. I'm like, oh. And Rad, to his credit, composed himself. He says, hey, I said, fuck it, let's go back, go to bed. And he says, hey, KB, chill. And we were just about to fist fight before that. And he's like, he might be, because we listened to him eat for an hour, nonstop. He didn't take breaks. Rad said he might just be going to get water. Chill out. Let's just sit here another half hour or so, see if he comes back, see if he gets in the tree. All right. Sitting there. 5-10 minutes pass, nothing. 12-15 minutes, you hear the monkeys start chirping. And that tells you that there's a predator coming in. And Rad's like, that's probably him coming back from getting water. The monkeys, it gets closer, 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 closer. All of a sudden, the leopard goes up the tree. So the way the bait's in the tree and the way the tree forked into 3 different ways, the leopard positions himself to where he's feeding and you can't see his balls. The rule is if you don't see his balls, you don't shoot him. He never lifted his tail where you could see him as he climbed up. But I knew it was him. Rad knew it was him. After about 10-15 minutes of us just watching when I could have shot him 1,000 times, he repositions in the tree, puts his rear end towards us, raises his tail, you can see. And so everyone agrees, fucking shoot him. I think Rad says smoke him. And I'm on the tripod and I set up and squeeze the trigger because it's the most important shot. Because if you wound the leopard and he runs, you gotta chase him. It's bad because they don't warn you when you're close. They hide, they're small, you can't see them, you walk past them and they jump on you. And it's 100 stitches a second, maybe, Rob? Yeah. And the camera guy says I can see him. I squeeze the trigger and impact on the leopard. And he's a perfect kind of quarter away, so I slip it in behind his shoulder. A cat's heart's a little farther back than some other animals. Put it through there, and he just falls out of the tree. And in the slow-mo video, you can tell, once I shoot him, when he falls out of the tree, he's dead already. But when he hits the ground, if they're wounded and they run off, oh, ooh, ooh, and you hear it, no, oh. We heard nothing, but where he fell to the ground, from where the blind is, we can't see the ground, so we can't see him.
So, our story's pretty funny. We're over here,
The wrong way.
thumbs in our asses, sleeping in the truck, right? All of us taking turns going. One finally comes up, and we're all asleep. Seppi goes, gets out of the truck, grabs the radio, gets out of the truck, and goes, Brad. And then he's like, did you hear the radio? And I'm like, no.
Seppi was so afraid he was going to miss the radio.
And then he's like, well, I guess we're up now. So that's out of the truck.
I guess we're up now.
Less than 60 seconds. Yeah, we're all wide awake, just like, what the fuck was that?
Seppi manifested it.
Oh, did you hear that? Yeah. What the fuck? He even called us on the radio. Are you ready?
You shoot that cat, you're about to.
So we radio them, they come in. We didn't know until they got there. And we walk in, and unfortunately I made a good shot. 375 Ruger 12-inch Megafix. Yep, deleted him. He's there on the ground. And it's probably the best leopard footage I've ever seen in my life of a leopard hunt. But that's what we went through for days and days and days trying to get it. When the trigger broke and how the proximity of the leopard, he was so close, there was no time for him to move, so I knew I'd made a good shot. But you're always nervous until you see the animal dead. And fortunately, we walk up and he's lying there dead. He didn't move. When he hit the ground, he never took a step, never rolled over, never did anything. So that was like best case scenario. But it was a lot. It was a lot of stress. It was a lot of work, a lot of effort to get that shot. Not only to shoot that leopard, and, to take that leopard, but to get a video of it. Made it exponentially more difficult. I was so thankful to have a folding stock gun with a short barrel and to have a silencer on it. Because when we shot, we could hear it when the leopard fell. We heard it hit the ground. But I think, the Megafix, it just transcends a lot of this stuff. And it sets a new standard for hunting in Africa and especially dangerous game. Now you can use a silencer. So now I'm not having to wear ear pro. I can communicate with my PH and my camera guy so we can get this great footage, which I hope inspires other people to go and hunt these animals, to give a value to them, that's contributing to conservation. Because, seeing a leopard in the wild is, especially the footage that Austin got of that cat, Jesus, what a majestic animal. And, okay, here is a time where this cat, he served his purpose within his community. He's old, he's a breeding male, but he's in his last couple years of his life. Let's let a younger male step up and get some new genetics in there. The trophy to me in my house is just, a reminder of this great adventure I had, in this situation with Rad where he's freaking out, and I'm like, fuck you, fuck you. So it was it's an awesome hunt. All the dangerous game hunts are, it's always an emotional thing. It's always a difficult thing, and you're always so grateful once you've done it. No, all the communities in Wild Africa are kind of the same, the villages, when it comes to dangerous game, because they're called dangerous game for a reason, right? And these people live with them every day. And so a leopard, a lion, an elephant, a buffalo, hippo, croc, if it's in their village or it's at the river when they go there, it's dangerous, and people die from these, constantly in their villages. The villages also get some monetary contribution from the cats. And in some places, they get half the money of the cat hunt, and that could be half their money for the year for the whole village, which is amazing. And so every time you shoot a leopard or a lion, or you shoot an elephant, or you shoot a buffalo, there's a party when you come back, but especially with the cats. So as you're driving close to the village, you shoot around and it tells them you're coming back with a cat. And they have a celebration going on when you get there. They make these little crowns for you put on. They carry you around in a chair. They embarrass the hell out of you. It's a whole dance party. And then, you just have a big braai and everybody has a party. It's a great time. But for them, it's very special. It assures there's jobs for all of them. That's a sign of success, like we harvested one of these cats. Whether it's an elephant, a cat, a buffalo, kudu, any animal, if it's an old animal that's past its prime, I'm happy. That's like all you can hope for. I don't chase horns or inches on a buffalo, or even, when it comes to ivory on an elephant. Like, I want to shoot the biggest, oldest elephant there is. And when I say biggest, I mean body. There is no more room for him to grow. And if his tusks are, 50 pounds or 100 pounds, that's great. It's no offense. Like, I love SCI and Dallas Safari Club and Roland Ward and all these organizations that, sort of measure the trophies, but they support hunting and conservation. I'm just not going to get into chasing numbers, because like I said, like, the trophy to me is just to remind you of the adventure. It's not, I shot the number 3 leopard in the world. Like, for me, I just don't care. When I get into hunting, chasing a number, then I want to retire from hunting. Like, I think the real advice is you got to be patient with cats. And if there's not something, what I would rather do than shoot something that's in its prime, or that's too young, or it's not what I want, extend your trip. Like, be patient. Because, what's an extra 4, 5, 6, 7 days in the course of your life? But you get this ultimate trophy.
Chanjuzi